in a wonderland without angels. That is how I feel when the mirror shows me a stranger. Yeah. And I know they're just fragments of a world where your absence all I get to see. Take me back to the planet where you and I are still meant to be. 'Cause I'm incomplete when you ain't by my side, when you don't wake up next to me. Yeah, I'm incomplete. I need you here tonight to cover up these empty sheets. 'Cause I'm incomplete. Yeah, I'm incomplete. Hey, 'cause I'm incomplete. I need you here tonight to cover up these empty sheets. 'Cause I'm incomplete. But it won't be long before I realize it's a picture in my head, in my head. And I know they're just fragments of a world where your absence all I get to see. Take me back to the planet where you and I are still meant to be. 'Cause I'm incomplete when you ain't by my side, when you don't wake up next to me. Yeah, I'm incomplete. I need you here tonight to cover up these empty sheets. 'Cause I'm incomplete. I'm incomplete. I need you here tonight to cover up these empty sheets. 'Cause I'm incomplete.
I fell and lost to the war, shot me dead. I was lost and I said to the voices in my head, I'm gonna get up again. I'm gonna get up to another day. I'm not giving up again. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up. Giving up again. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna to my lies. Love is far to come. Your love is far. Running at the speed of light, kissing under city lights. Calls me in this morning time, but it just goes on. Running at the speed of light, kissing under city lights. Calls me in this morning time, but it just goes on. Gotta get up again. I gotta get up to another day. I'm not giving up again. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get Where are you going? Going so fast tonight. Have you ever stopped beside the road to smell the rose of life? Take a breath now. Don't hold it in too long, 'cause you might end up missing out on life's short little song. She's saying, ooh, you've got one life to live. She's singing, ooh, you've got one life to live. Don't let it go. Ooh, you've got one life to live. She's singing, ooh, you've got one life to live. Don't let it go. Got one life to live, don't let it go. Can you let go of it all tonight? Or will you decide to push on through and ignore the words inside? Take a breath now, don't hold it in too long, 'cause you'll find you're missing out a life's short little song. She's saying, you've got one life to live. She's singing, ooh, you've got one life to live. Don't let it go. Ooh, you've got one life to live. She's singing, ooh, you've got one life to live. Don't let it go.
Inside the book that I wrote are all the words that we spoke, yet only with our eyes. Now is the time to choose. Somebody wins and some lose. I can see through your disguise. Lay it down, hope for something better. Looking at the clouds, the cyber and the weather. You can't keep this up. The lies are just too much. Kick back, start another fire. Looking at the clouds, making shapes that you admire. And you can't stop it now, 'cause you don't know how. You can't stop it now. Too much love will kill you.
the sky as if thrown from Mars. Hold me tight, please don't let me down, 'cause we'll start falling, falling, falling towards the ground. We'll start falling, falling, falling. 'Cause we'll start falling, falling, falling. 'Cause we'll start falling.
Gave you too much, now I'm swallowed. Now I'm the fool while you're breaking rules. Dangerous path that I follow. Oh, go on, just do what you do. And it bleed for you, cry for you, oh, oh. Let me bleed. As I bleed for you, cry for you, oh, oh. Let me bleed. Let me bleed. All of the pain seems to follow, like a shadow dark and cold to the touch. Am I insane not to let go? Oh, go on, just do what you do. And it hurts as I bleed for you, cry for you, oh, oh. Let me bleed. As I bleed for you, cry for you, oh, oh. Let me bleed.
Visitors from all over the world, welcome to Camp Nou, FC Barcelona's legendary and magical home. We are delighted to have you here and we hope you enjoy the game. Thank you very much for coming and we hope to see you back again very soon.
El Futbol Club Barcelona, fidel als seus valors i a la seva tradició, demana a la seva afició que encoratgi a l'equip i ho faci d'una manera cívica i respectuosa. Fem Barça. Viu el futbol amb respecte.
Bona nit a tothom i benvinguts a l'estadi. Cinquena jornada de Lliga. L'àrbitre del partit és Alejandro José Hernández Hernández, del comitè de les Palmes. Avui ens visita la Societat Deportiva Eibar, que presenta aquest 11 inicial. Amb el dorsal 25, Dimitrovic, el 3, Galvez, el 5, Escalante, el 7, Capa, el 8, Iwi, el 9, Sergi Enric, el 12, Paulo, el 14, Dani García, el 18, Arbilla, el 23, Juncà i el 24, Jordan. Som-hi, Camp Nou, l'11 del Futbol Club Barcelona. Amb el dorsal 1, Ter Stegen, el 2, Semedo, el 3, Piqué, el 5, Sergio, el 6, Denis Suárez, el 8, Iniesta, el 10, Messi, el 14, Mascherano, el 15, Paulinho, el 16, Deulofeu i el 19, Dinya.
They say in Spanish, they've supported me since the very first day. After a very difficult time for me, so when I hear my name being sung, when I see the fans who are happy and applauding me, I just want to carry on like this and nothing else.
This broadcast was co-presented by Oppo F3 F3 Plus in association with Linen Club.
Gets his first start in a Barca shirt alongside Sergio Busquets and Andres Iniesta. And the front three, Gerard Deulofeu, Lionel Messi and Denis Suarez.
Well, all three substitutes who came on and did such a good job against Getafe get a starting place here against Eibar. Deulofeu, of course, because he comes in for the injured Dembele. Denis Suarez came on at half-time, changed the game, scored what turned out to be the winning goal. Really good goal it was too. It's Paulinho, beg your pardon, who scored the winning goal. Dennis scored the first. Paulinho came on later on in the game and after just 5 minutes on the pitch, scored the winner.
Certainly did. Let's have a quick look at the visitors' lineups tonight. The former Charlton keeper Marko Dimitrovic in goal. In front of a back four, behind rather, a back four of Anaïs Arbilla, Paulo Oliveira, Alex Galvez and David Junca. And the midfield three, Gonzalo Escalante, Dani Garcia and Joan Jordan. And up front, a change there too, with Ander Kappa pushing up from fullback, Sergi Emrich and Takashi Inui.
It's interesting, we saw earlier Sampaoli is in the crowd here tonight. Jorge Sampaoli, the Argentina manager. He'll of course be watching Leo Messi and Mascherano, who gets a rare start. Hasn't played a single minute in Barca's last 4 games in all competitions, although he did start the first game against Real Betis. But interestingly, Gonzalo Escalante, the Eibar midfielder, he's never played for Argentina, but he's in the starting 11 for Eibar, and it'll be an added impetus for him knowing that Jorge Sampaoli, his national team coach, is in the crowd watching here tonight.
Most certainly, and 2 Catalans in the Eibar lineup. David Junca, who was with FC Barcelona's youth team for a couple of years, around 10 seasons ago, and he scored Barca's first in that 4-2 win towards the end of the season. An own goal for Eibar, and Joan Jordan, of course, who spent 6 years on the books of Barca's cross-city rivals Española before joining Eibar in the summer. So the scene here in Camp Nou is set. Not quite a full house for this Tuesday evening, almost Tuesday night kickoff, 10 o'clock local time. The referee there, Mr. Hernandez, just waiting for the signal from the sidelines before we get underway. And Eibar, and of course their coach José Luis Mendilibar, changing from a successful formation last season, served them well, the 4-4-2, playing 4-3-3 today. Duncan, matching Barca stride for stride in some respects.
Yeah, I think they'll take the game to Football Club Barcelona. They're certainly not a team under José Luis Mendilibar who are coming here to hand all 3 points to Football Club Barcelona. They're a side who get a lot of crosses into the box. They're powerful in the air. Sergi Enrique, very, very good with his head. They're actually the team that have got most crosses into the box so far in the season. They're also the team with most possession turnovers in the opposition half. So watch out for the pressure in the Barca half and watch out for the crosses coming into the box.
Well, it certainly served them well in that last meeting. As you said, they were 2 goals to the good, and they did take the game to Barca. And already here you can see they have 6 players in the Barca half just trying to stop the Blaugrana from playing out.
And that's exactly what they've done. They've robbed the ball back, and well, there's number 1 for possession turnovers in the opposition half. They've started as they mean to go on.
They most certainly have, and which I meant to just mention in the talk through the lineup, there are a number of players on the treatment table for Eibar. Ivan Rames is out, the influential Pedro Leon, hence Ander Kappa comes in on the right side of the attack. Joel Rodriguez, who made his loan move permanent in the summer from Valencia. Ivan Alejo, another wide man who was signed from Alcorcon, and indeed Fran Rico.
Important players, really important players for Eibar. A number of those, you look at Joel, Fran Rico, Pedro Leon, Rames, all starters. They should be here tonight, unfortunately unavailable for José Luis Mendilibar.
Eibar just trying to attack down the right, but the ball intercepted. Andres Iniesta turning in the small spaces as he does, so technically gifted, and Sergio Roberto, almost called him Sergi there, just drawing the foul. And Paulinho rewarded for a good performance of the weekend with a place in midfield, do you think?
Yeah, definitely. Both him and Denis Suarez. As we mentioned earlier, it was obvious that Deulofeu would come into the side after the injury to Dembele. It was Deulofeu who was starting on that right-hand side of attack before Dembele was signed, and also coming on as a substitute in place of Dembele, and even starting the first game when when Dembélé was available. So that one wasn't a surprise. But I think Denis Suarez especially deserved his call-up. He was magnificent when he came on. He came on at half-time for Andres Iniesta against Getafe and really helped to change the game, add that bit of spark in midfield. And of course, as we know, Paulinho came on. Within 5 minutes, he scored the winning goal and showing what kind of a player he is as well, with really good strength and a good run.
And there's a glorious ball inside the defence, and Sergi Enrich draws a great save from Ter Stegen, but the Barca defence opened up there with the ball round the outside from the left wing. A real warning sign from Eibar, and Enrich, who read the line well. And now the other end, Barca straight onto the attack with Deulofeu down the right, just waiting for support, trying to pick out Messi, but just playing it beyond the Argentinian. And Eibar will try and clear their lines.
Well, brilliant start to this game, and Eibar really showing that they're going to take on Barca here in this match. We said it earlier, under Mendilibar, they're a side that like to play football. They're difficult to beat.
A great pass from Semedo. Deulofeu this time has another look up. Again, just fails to find his objective. Barca do pick the ball up with Gerard Piqué. A really good chance for Sergi Enrich, and perhaps one he should have done better with.
Yeah, it was a superb chance. As always, Ter Stegen does so well. He's so intelligent, so good at cutting the angle down. Came off his line quickly, knew exactly where he needed to be. His positioning is always spot on, and he made it difficult for Sergi Enrich, but I agree with you, it was a wonderful opportunity, and certainly the Eibar striker will be kicking himself right now, and he knows that that was a glorious opportunity to put Eibar up into the lead.
We'll have to see how many more chances Eibar do have, but at the moment they've got some defending to do as Barca start moving down the left, back at the feet of Lionel Messi, out wide to the far side for Lucas Digne to swing it in. Sergio Busquets, of all players, the only Barca man in the penalty area, and a none too subtle hook clear just to give the Eibar back four some breathing space before Gerard Piqué returns it to Ter Stegen. And I'll just say Eibar have won 2 and lost 2 so far this season. In the 2 games they've won, they've only scored once, winning both of those 1-0. In the 2 games they've lost, they haven't managed to score themselves. So it'll be interesting to see what or which of the Eibar teams turns up tonight. Battling away in midfield, keeping hold of possession, but a pass across to the centre to Busquets ends up at the feet of Deulofeu.
It was a big win for Eibar last Friday night against Leganés. 2 very similar sides in La Liga, 2 sides with very small stadiums, small fan bases, small budgets, but well, they're excelling themselves, overachieving, both teams, especially Eibar. Of course, it's now their 4th season in a row in the top flight. It's quite incredible on a shoestring budget in the smallest stadium in the whole of Spain, or in the Spanish top flight at least. They really are doing ever so well, and it was a brilliant goal by the centre-back Alejandro Galvez. He picked up the ball on the halfway line, won it back for Eibar, knocked it out wide, continued his run forward and scored a stunning header.
There's a pass through the defence from Iniesta, just slightly overcooked, and Marko Dimitrovic, as I mentioned, had a spell with Charlton Athletic in the English Championship before they were relegated to the 3rd tier and joined Alcorcon on the outskirts of Madrid, and then signed in the summer by Eibar, potentially as backup to Joel Rodriguez, but with Joel picking up the injury, Dimitrovic was promoted to play between the sticks whilst on the bench tonight for Eibar. Asier Riesco, somewhat surprising he wasn't chosen. Dimitrovic was given the role. And now in the centre of midfield, the man you mentioned that Sampaoli may well be watching, Gonzalo Escalante sprays it out to the left wing for Inui, and the overlapping run from David Juncker, but Semedo with the sliding tackle. He's made quite an impression in his first few games, hasn't he, Nelson Semedo, since joining from Benfica?
Yeah, I've been really impressed with him, especially when you take into account that he's not played very much in the top flight, not even in Portugal. He was at Benfica for 1.5 years, his first season Well, he was there for 2 years, but his first season he spent half of it on the treatment table, picked up a really nasty injury, didn't really find his form again, but then in his second season he was superb. Played just about every game for them, looked very, very good, but he's joined Barca with little more than a season and a half of experience in the top flight, and that top flight being Portugal. So he hadn't played in Spain. No one really knew what to expect of him in this league, but I think he's been fantastic.
Just seeing the replay there of Sergio Enrique's chance, just a hint that he may have been half a body width in front of Gerard Piqué, but nevertheless Ter Stegen with a very good save, reading the Eibar striker's intentions well. The pass through from David Junca, being allowed to push up from the full-back position. No thoughts from Mendilibar, the Eibar coach, of ensuring his defenders stay back, encouraging Junca to push up when possible and try and support Inui. And there is Ernesto Valverde, of course, replaced Luis Enrique in the summer.
And he's still finding his feet, Lucas, and it's quite interesting, I think, that against Getafe, after that Champions League game, everyone expected rotations, and he only made one change, and that wasn't even a particularly big change. I don't think it was Semedo who stayed on the bench, and it was Sergio Roberto who came in for him at right back. Everyone was talking, would it be Paulinho's chance? Would it be Denis Suarez? Would Andre Gomez get an opportunity in the starting 11? Well, none of them started. Okay, we saw Paulinho and Suarez both come on, but it was interesting that he didn't actually make any rotations. He didn't make too many changes for that game, and yet for this one we've got Mascherano, we've got Lucas Digne, we've got Paulinho and Dennis, and obviously Deulofeu, who's coming for the injured Ousmane Dembele.
No, most certainly. Inui there just having a shot. I think it was going wide, but Ter Stegen didn't want to take any chances. As I said, Inui scored twice here last year, trying to repeat the trick with an opening goal there. Just didn't really catch it. Joan Jordan, the former Español man, just moving one of our microphones aside. The ball played in but headed out. Not a very convincing clearance, but Deulofeu will take it, and is clearly held back there.
It's going to be a yellow card.
It certainly is. I was going to say, it looks like the first yellow card of the game produced by Mr. Hernandez. I think it's for Ander Capa there. A 25-year-old in a rather unique position, having already signed for his new club. He'll join Athletic Club de Bilbao at the end of this season, having started out there at San Mamés in their youth ranks 12 years ago. Now returning to Los Leones after a deal was agreed, but Eibar asking if he could stay with them just for one more season, and then moving up today. Normally fills in at right back or right wing back, with the change of system, playing on the right flank, trying to provide the ammunition for Sergio Enrique.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll see both Ander Capa and Inui. Oh, we just saw Sampaoli on the screen, by the way. We mentioned him earlier. He's here to primarily watch Leo Messi and Mascherano. Mascherano, I'm sure, will be absolutely delighted that he's been given a place in the starting 11 with his national team coach on the bench, but maybe he'll have a little look at Escalante as well, the Argentine midfielder in the Eibar side.
Doing alongside Sampaoli there, former Barca player Eider Gudjonsson, is just trying to move his way through, but Lionel Messi tackled just by sheer weight of numbers in the Eibar midfield, and they managed to retain possession. Inui with the up and under, and Mascherano up against Sergi Enrique. Mascherano probably one of the shortest central defenders in the Spanish top flight, standing at 5'8", 1m74, but certainly has done a very admirable job since being converted there many seasons ago after joining the Blaugrana from Liverpool, of course.
I don't think he ever looked short though at centre-back. He's got a fantastic leap on him, and his football intelligence just gets him in the right positions so often. It's a close one. He probably was just a wee bit offside, I think, but he didn't score anyway, so it didn't actually matter.
It didn't, no. Save from Ter Stegen there, and the only other opportunity to come Eibar's way in the opening 12 minutes, that shot that I think was heading into the side netting from Inui. Barca yet to really test Dimitrovic. They do have a throw on their left flank. Iniesta laying it across to Gerard Piqué. Deulofeu just moving himself right out to this touchline on this near side, and he'll be found by Semedo. Forced all the way back. You can see when Eibar defend, they do spread themselves right across the field to not allow Barca to be able to start attacking them down the flanks. The tackle in there on Digne just clears it away for a throw on that far side. And a very impressive start to the season for Barca. The only goal they conceded was that absolute cracker against Getafe at the weekend, as that ball was played in. The ever reliable Alex Galvez just meeting it.
Yeah, good defending from Galvez. He had to get there as well because Leo Messi was loitering just behind him, ready to pounce. It's a good header.
Well, Barca have their first corner of the game, so up come Piqué and the like of Busquets. Paulinho there with another opportunity to win over the Barca fans. Clearing header gives the home side their second corner in quick succession. Paulo Oliveira, summer signing from Sporting. So Piqué and co stay up. Of course, scored in the 5-0 win against Española. Making movements towards the 6-yard area now as the corner comes into the near post, and it's headed out for yet another corner to the home team. This time Deulofeu comes short to see if Messi wants to try a different option. Inui just edging closer than the permitted 10 yards. Now Messi tries from a different angle, but straight into the arms of the keeper. Easy enough and well defended by Eibar, and then the up and under. A bit too long for everybody, not only in a green and white shirt, but also in a claret and blue. And the Kappa had a look back at the keeper as if to say, were you expecting me to get on the end of that?
Well, you just saw him sort of moving his hands as if to say, just slow it down a bit. I think everyone would have been a little bit frustrated with the goalkeeper Dimitrovic for handing possession back to Football Club Barcelona so quickly and so easily. They're going to have so much possession and you really can't gift it to them.
Galvez there again, and does superbly well to stop that going out for a corner, having prevented Deulofeu from going through. He's having a good game already, the 28-year-old former Werder Bremen central defender.
So to Paulinho, round of applause for the Brazilian from the home fans. Good bit of skill here just to win the ball back for Football Club Barcelona and earn his side a throw-in as well.
Eibar still pressuring high up the field. Mascherano advances into the Eibar half, but you can see the back four of Eibar operating as one line, and it just seems that everybody in front has their roles but are allowed to chase the ball down as the pass goes from left to right. It's a glorious pass to find Lionel Messi up against Inui and Junca. Still manages to create some space into the centre, and it's headed away by Paulo Oliveira, only as far as Busquets, and the up and under to Messi once more. I say, very fortunate that for Eibar that Messi wasn't allowed to turn there. And is there a chance of an Eibar counter-attack now? It was 5 against 5, but Barca dropping back as Eibar just slow the pace down.
As you rightly say, Lucas, 5 against 5, and that's because Eibar immediately looked to catch them on the break, immediately pushed 5 players forward. They're not scared to get opposition players, to get players in the opposition half.
An attempted cross from that far side, well blocked out, and Kappa, who really always struck me as very well built for a fullback, and able to use his pace and his athleticism down the right, and one wonders where he will fit into the Athletic Bilbao setup. But we have a year to wait before considering that. At the moment his focus is very much with Eibar, of course. And that ball is kept in. Here is Ander Kappa doing battle with Lucas Digne, keeping it and just rolling it back. More skills on the far side.
Oof. Great bit of play from Eibar there, and it was good defending from Javier Mascherano. If it wasn't for that, I'll tell you what, Joan Jordan would have been in a very promising position to get a good ball into the box.
Anaitz Arbilla also involved. And here is the breakaway, the movement from Inui. I think maybe that was the ball that Dimitrovic was supposed to play, but just got his footing wrong.
I think you're absolutely right, and it's a really good spot from our director as well, who realised that that's exactly what was happening. Dimitrovic obviously saw the run from Inui, saw that he was in acres of space, but as you say, just got everything wrong with the kick. It probably came off the wrong part of his boot, and he sent it slightly right rather than left.
Another ball won back in the opposition half for Eibar, and here is Ardilla laying it back and into the midfield now. Eibar just beginning to enjoy a spell of possession. Alex Galvez, as you said, he scored that goal and looks full of confidence going forward.
Thought about joining the attack again, didn't he? But when he saw the ball going backwards, he thought, probably best not.
There's the pass down the line, the far side. Joan Jordan just unable to keep it in.
Tidy defending once again from Javier Mascherano. Looked very, very good so far in this game, the Argentine. Always does. Barely puts a foot wrong, Mascherano.
And just see Ernesto Valverde there standing on the edge of his technical area. Mendilibar watching on from the comfort of the bench at the moment. Here is De La Feu squaring up to Juncan again in with his back. Semedo now looking for options, and that's a good one too with Iniesta, but the tackle there from Galvez, and he's given a penalty, the referee. Macedo down in the area. Alex Galvez pleads his innocence, but Football Club Barcelona have themselves the opportunity to go ahead in the 20th minute of the game.
Well, it's brilliant football from Football Club Barcelona, I have to say, but it looked like Semedo was second best to this one. He didn't give up, and all credit to him for carrying on the run. Did he get there ahead of Galvez? Maybe he did, you know. In the end, I think it's a slightly clumsy challenge from the Eibar centre-back. Semedo does brilliantly well to use his body, gets in front of the defender, goes down under the challenge from Galvez, and I think it's not the worst challenge you've ever seen. It's not the worst penalty or the most clear-cut penalty, but I think Semedo is very intelligent, and I have to say, I think Alejandro Galvez is a little bit clumsy.
So Lionel Messi with a chance for his 6th league goal of the season, clips it up and beyond the dive of Dimitrovic, made it look so easy, and it's 1-0 to the home side.
Well, he barely needed a run up there, Leo Messi, barely needed a back lift either. Just flicked the ball into the top corner and there was no stopping it. It was so precise from the Argentine. A stunning finish. Sampaoli's probably right, and who's this Messi? I better call him up for the next Argentina game.
So 8 goals in all competitions.
What about that, eh? Just clips it into the back of the net.
As Dimitrovic dived underneath it, maybe if he hadn't dived forward, you can see he dives forward, which actually gives him less lift, but nevertheless there's always going to be a job to reach that. So 6 goals in La Liga Santander for Lionel Messi, 2 in the Champions League, and we are only 6 games into the new season. Eibar now have it all to do, and that chance for Sergi Enrich beginning to look more and more important for Eibar. Cleared up at the back once again by Mascherano. Ter Stegen, as always, will play it out despite the numbers pushed up by the visiting side. No thoughts of long balls or clearing the lines from Barca at this stage. Busquets to Iniesta, and that's fantastic control, and I think De La Feu may have just gone too early there. He did, the former AC Milan and Everton man.
Oof, I tell you what, did he? That is very, very close indeed. We didn't see it from bang in line, did we? But it looked like he curved his run just enough there, De La Feu.
Not that 2 wrongs make a right, but if Sergi Enrich was on side, I think De La Feu may have been there, but very strict these days, no giving the advantage to the attacker on that occasion. Great feet shown by Denis Suarez. Now Lionel Messi running at the Eibar back line across to De La Feu first time and puts it right up and over away to the far side, just needed the finishing touch. Deulofeu in the opening games of the season before Dembele was introduced into the team really did shine, and
he did when he came on at Getafe as well. He was instrumental in that first Denis Suarez goal. I think he's looked really good. He's impressed me. Of course, we all knew him from his Barca days and his time at Sevilla as well, and then, as you mentioned, Everton and AC Milan. But I've been really impressed with how well he's done since he's arrived at Football Club Barcelona. He knew the place inside out, of course. He's been here for many, many years, but he hasn't looked nervous. He hasn't tried to do too much. He's come into the side and he's done exactly what he needed to do. I think he's a really good signing, and he's a great option for Football Club Barcelona to have coming off the bench. I think in some ways, okay, they've lost Neymar, but on the bench they're stronger with Deulofeu and Dembele starting. We're not going to see Dembele now, sadly for him, for 3.5 to 4 months. But still, I think with Dembele and Deulofeu, that's two excellent options for the right-hand side in attack.
No, most certainly. And often homegrown youngsters get their opportunities in first teams at all levels of football, of course. When there are injuries to the more established players, or indeed the players that have been bought in for a high transfer value, and on this occasion it could be Deulofeu who benefits from the absence of Dembele over the next 3 or 4 months. And at the moment, Joan Jordan, 23-year-old who spent last season on loan with Real Valladolid, in line to take this free kick, right-footed, movement towards the far post, into the centre, the header down, but comfortable enough in the end. It was Paulo Oliveira who just got the connection with it. Lifted up and over. The defence in with Piqué and Busquets just doing enough to ensure Paulo Oliveira wasn't able to get full contact with that. And two players who left Barca and came back. Deulofeu, who we've been talking about, of course, Denis Suarez, but not such a familiar figure. Only with Barca for a couple of years prior to his current return. Signed from Manchester City. Prior to that, he was with Celta de Vigo. And he signed back just as Gerard Deulofeu has been as well. So two youngsters, both aged 23, given a chance in the lineup by Ernesto Valverde. Throwing down below us. Semedo, the interchange of passes with Paulinho, the fullback now making his way into the midfield. That's a good ball out to the far side. Eibar's defence. There's a very experienced bench for Barca tonight. We see a replay of Messi's 7 men ahead of the ball there. Dropping back now, there's a pass through, and Rich being marked by Piqué. Rolls it back into the centre, goes down under the referee's nose. Nothing doing, says Mr. Hernandez. Arbilla still picking himself up, and a rather dramatic fall in the centre of midfield. Now Denis Suarez squaring up to Paulo Oliveira, who pushed up from his central defensive position. Suarez again, that's a very loose pass. And now Inui can edge forward. He's got 3 in front of him. We'll have to wait for teammates. They are just beginning to join him now as he plays it out to the far side for Joan Jordan. Back into Escalante. Inui turns in the area. Has Enrich in the centre, but a great block by Piqué. Well played by Eibar that to create more danger in and around the Barca box.
David Junca was just joining the attack. He was in acres of space on the edge of the area, just screaming out for the ball from Inui. In the end, the Japanese forward went for glory, went for the shot.
I've got to say, made a lot of that. It was theatrical from Arbilla, but from that angle, Paulinho clearly caught him on the ankle. Nothing doing, said the referee. Jordan with this corner on the penalty spot. Caught the Eibar players slightly in front of the ball. And Messi has it taken away from him. Dani Garcia gets the challenge in, but all the way through to Ter Stegen. And whilst it is 1-0, Eibar will still really fancy their chances of causing a surprise here.
Not often you see Ter Stegen lumping the ball upfield, but he was looking for the counter-attack there. De La Feu right on the shoulder of the defender, but I think it was Oliveira who did very well, won the header and stopped any kind of possible counter-attack for Football Club Barcelona.
And I've got to say, considering the amount of times Barca do play long balls, Eibar were more used to defending them than Barca may well be at winning those aerial duels. Galvez just clearing up for Eibar. Dimitrovic instructing his defenders to move up, no playing out from the back from the 25-year-old Serbian. Instead that goes long, looking for Enrich, challenged by Paulinho, and the Kappa taking up the central striking role. Ball put back into the Eibar half, but nobody apart from Lionel Messi, who's just appeared at the bottom of your picture there, was going to be anywhere near that ball.
It's quite interesting looking at the Barca lineup for this game, because we've been seeing Leo Messi playing that false nine position this season, even with Suarez on the pitch, but Suarez certainly doesn't play as far over on the left as we're seeing Denis Suarez play in this game. You have Suarez and Messi almost both as number 9s, but Messi dropping much more through the middle to pick up the ball, looking to pick out passes and receive the ball between the lines as well. He's in that position where no one really knows who has to pick him up. That's what the false 9 is all about. The defenders don't want to drop too deep to pick him up, and the midfielders don't want him either.
Gonzalo Escalante, of all players, out on that far right-hand side, trying to find a crucial pass for Sergi Enrich, and he looks annoyed with himself there. We'll see the replay of the penalty. The only goal scored, of course, coming in the 20th minute of the game. Lionel Messi clipping it home. Another ball into the area which Sergi Enrich just couldn't convert. If you saw him walking away from that, certainly won't be translating or lip reading what he said, but I can tell you he felt he should have done better. Now Lionel Messi just running at the Eibar defence again, and this time he's outnumbered. No free kick, says the referee, just lost his footing. But if you are a central defender with Lionel Messi running at you, you've got to decide, go in to make the tackle or just keep backing off and maybe allow him some space.
And this is why it's so exciting to see Messi back in this false 9 position where he played under Pep Guardiola. It was against Real Madrid in that 6-2 victory that Pep put him in this position for the first time, and he didn't move from there. After that game he scored so many goals, he was so dangerous, and it's in that kind of position where he picks up the ball between the lines and can run at the defenders. On that occasion he tried to take them all on his own, and well, he couldn't quite do it in the end. No claim for a penalty, by the way, from Leo Messi. He quite clearly went down because he couldn't quite get on the end of his own sort of piece of skill. But it really is exciting to see him back playing this false 9 that he didn't play under Luis Enrique. It was very much the MSN, wasn't it? Messi on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, Suarez through the middle, and Neymar on the left.
It certainly was, and Messi already has his goal tonight, and without the presence of Dani Alves and Neymar in the Barca squad, no one to try and take the ball off Messi ahead of the penalty. So he has his 6th league goal of the season, and Barca lead here by 1-0. They have themselves a throw on that far side. Here's the replay again. Was he caught at any point here? It looked like he almost tripped over his own shoes there, or his own feet, I should say.
Yeah, he just couldn't quite get beyond everyone. He was clever enough to put the ball where he wanted to get to, but his legs wouldn't take him there. But at no point was he looking towards the referee asking for a penalty kick.
In the midfield. Cross to this near side for Gerard Piqué. Medo quickly closed down by Inui on this near side, and rushing past the Japan international there into the feet of Paulinho, just couldn't hold it up. Semedo keeps going, pinballing around before Escalante hooks it clear. I say one back by Mascherano, but he immediately gives the ball back to Eibar. That's a good pass. The outside of the boot across to Inui, and now it's Inui's turn to look to take on Semedo down the left. Back into midfield, David Juncker. And here's the Eibar captain, Dani Garcia, just pulling Barca from side to side. Cross right over to the far post, and it needed defending in the end. Inri trying to head it back across, but the crossfield pass is the first to Inri, and the second one out to the right-hand side. Eibar pulling Barca from side to side, so it's having an effect. Here we, whether he's actually going to catch that, but Semedo had to make sure.
Yeah, good defending from Semedo, intelligent defending, but previously good play from Eibar, as you say, stretching the pitch, making it difficult for Football Club Barcelona. It's what we expected from the start. We haven't necessarily seen it all that much so far in this game. Haven't seen too many crosses in towards the box from Eibar. On that occasion, they did well.
Galvez trying the back flick there, not quite coming off. Eibar do have themselves a throw which the fullback will come up and take. I think Inri thought about taking a quick throw, but instead the former Girona man David Juncar takes it into the feet now of Paulo Oliveira. Arbia has one option down the line. Back by Joan Jordan to Paulo Oliveira. Now back with Dimitrovic. And now Mendilibar is on the edge of his technical area, trying to inspire his players. He's pointing there exactly to where he wants Dimitrovic to play it. It probably wasn't onto the chest of Gerard Piqué. Semedo decides not to go back to the keeper. Intercepted by De La Feu. Barca just having to battle to regain possession here. In the end, it's all the way back with Ter Stegen. And I've got to say, credit to Eibar. We've said it before, but the longer this game goes on, they really aren't lacking in confidence. They've come here with a game plan. And Barca know they are in a real game in this one. Paulinho. He's obviously another one who's had to quickly learn the Barca way, but an experienced player at the age of 29. May have not fared too well in the English Premier League with Tottenham during a couple of seasons, but really looks to have fitted in with the Barca style, the short passes and the movement.
I think he brings something different as well. Barca don't have too many physical midfielders who are going to burst through defences. They don't really have too many box-to-box midfielders, which is exactly what Paulinho is. So I think he does bring something different, and he has got the quality. He's got 43 caps for the Brazil national team. He's scored 10 international goals. You know, we're talking about a very, very good footballer. I think there was a lot of criticism maybe from Barca fans and the local press when he did arrive, because Barca aren't used to signing a 29-year-old from China, or the Chinese league, I should say, or a 29-year-old who went to the Premier League, didn't really succeed and got shipped off to China. So in that respect you can kind of understand it, but I think he's still a quality player, you know. I don't think he should necessarily be judged for those couple of years he had at Tottenham Hotspur.
And the corner taken quickly, no time for Barca players to get up, but they are on the edge of the area now. De La Feu looking for some space, clipping it through, looking for Messi, but all the way through to the keeper. Messi with the run, the crowd applauding. Intelligent play, just slightly too much on that from De La Feu.
Well, very difficult from that angle to get the ball up and over the defence. Very, very difficult, just too much on it in the end.
Another opportunity for Messi, palmed away this time by Dimitrovic. Who's De La Feu supplying the Argentinian once more. One touch and the shot aimed to the bottom left-hand corner, but Dimitrovic with the outstretched right arm turning it away. And this time Barca will pause before taking the corner. It will be Denis Suarez, right-footed. Lady there filming proceedings, and there's a goal. It's Paulinho again. Denis Suarez with the curling corner, and Paulinho arriving late and guiding the ball into the far corner. 2 goals in 2 games for the Brazilian, and he really is fitting in here.
Well, it's what we were saying earlier, Lucas. He brings something different to this side. How many Barca midfielders have scored headed goals like that from corners in the last few years? Xavi certainly wouldn't have done. Certainly you don't see Iniesta, you barely see Busquets. And the crowd now singing the name of the Brazilian Paulinho. He may not be a superstar signing, but he brings something different to this side. He brings a physicality that they don't have in midfield, and he's shown that with 2 goals in 2 games, very different goals, but both thanks to his physicality and his strength.
And if you're going to win over your new fans, especially sceptical fans, that is the way to do it. Maybe even talking in terms of a fan's favourite if he carries on like this. But a really, really good goal there, and unmarked as he made his way into the area. Uncharacteristically bad marking from Eibar. And now they do really face the proverbial mountain to climb, the visitors. 2-0 down. Around just over 6 minutes to go before the break.
Interesting there, Ter Stegen. Even a horribly sliced clearance, he still managed to find the head of Javier Mascherano. Can't do anything wrong, Ter Stegen.
I was about to say better distribution there, but Semedo just unable to bring it under control. A smile and thumbs up, but Ter Stegen, who always looks cool, calm and collected, yet to break into a sweat every outfield player, because it is not the warmest necessarily, but certainly a humid evening here in Barcelona.
I do think Marc-Andre Ter Stegen's the best goalkeeper in the world with the ball at his feet. He's, as you say, so cool, so intelligent in possession, picks out the right pass, never gets flustered. You feel like he could play in midfield and you'd barely notice if he was wearing a proper shirt.
Denis Suarez was trying to get the better of Paulo Oliveira, and the Portugal international. Only 1 cap for Portugal, mind, but very much a Portugal international, just getting back and sliding the ball out on the far side. Another player who looks cool and calm on the ball, although curse of the commentator, Gerard Piqué almost gave it away as I said that, but pulled it down well under pressure from Inui. Ter Stegen rolling it out to that far side, where Javier Mascherano will advance. Eibar just beginning to drop back. Lucas Digne down the line. Once again, Arbilla following the run of Denis Suarez and clearing up. And what do you think that Mendilibar will be able to say to his players at the break, Duncan? Any words of encouragement? How do they pull themselves back into this one?
Well, they could and should have scored the first goal of the game. Sergi Enrique had a one-on-one with Marc-Andre Ter Stegen, which he should have slotted home. So it could have been a different game. Barca haven't had bags of goal-scoring opportunities. He'll be really frustrated to have conceded from a set piece, because Barca don't usually score from set pieces. It's an excellent goal for Paulinho. Ernesto Valverde will be absolutely delighted. But Eibar are strong in the air. They're a team that defend well. They've got big players, and I'm sure Mendilibar will be furious that they've conceded from a set piece. He'll think it's almost a gift for Football Club Barcelona. They've scored a penalty and a header from a corner so far.
When you see the replay of that goal from Paulinho, we just highlighted him there. Not one of the Eibar defenders really anywhere near him. By the time he started his run, Alex Galvez was rooted to the spot. And it's often the case that the player who makes the run wins the ball against the stationary defender. Not detracting though from the intelligence of Paulinho to make that run, of course, and really attack the ball.
And the ball as well itself. Fantastic corner kick from Denis Suarez, who put it right into the danger zone. Just asking to be attacked from Paulinho. The minute he'd have seen that ball leave Denis Suarez's foot, he'd have thought, wow, this has got goal written all over it. And he met it with a superb header.
And this front three of Barca looking very threatening. I'm just trying to think of an acronym for Denis Suarez, Lionel Messi and Gerard Deulofeu, but one doesn't come to mind just yet. As Eibar have a throw in the hands of Arbilla. Barca will certainly be happy at 2-0, and as I've mentioned, with the bench that they have and the players they can introduce, it really is a comfortable cushion. If you're an Eibar defender and start seeing Luis Suarez warming up, ready to join the attack, it's not going to fill you full of confidence. Dimitrovic sending the outfield players up to the up pitch once again. Lee pitched the header down, cleared away, just hooked out of danger, and asking the forwards to deal with it. And I've got to say, Denis Suarez did well in the end. Busquets with the layoff, and this is good intricate play once more from Barca. And a switch of sides across to Lionel Messi. He has three alongside him. Paulinho going around the outside into the centre, but just couldn't control, and then Dimitrovic has to punch it away from the head of the Brazilian midfielder.
Oh, it's Denis Suarez who started that move with a brilliant piece of skill in his own half, and he almost finished it off. Couldn't quite control that pass from Messi.
Busquets to Semedo, clipped up to the far post. The ball drops down. Paulinho thought he was going to win it back, and it's hooked away. It's Gerard Piqué that brings it back into play, and Gerard Piqué comes out and wins it so well, uses his body strength, but Eibar still not done. They are still going, still in possession here. And they have 5 forward now, 6 in total in the opposition half. 2 approaching the areas. The ball comes back into the feet of Dani Garcia. Alex Galvez picks it up on the left to Junca. Eibar playing it around confidently. They really have to work out how to get it into that final third and then produce a pass to create an opportunity for any one of those players who is currently in front of the ball. In the end, Barca doing ever so well. Almost forget to praise Barca for their pressing game sometimes. It's all about the opposition and how they play Barca, but Barca just stopped Eibar from going forward there, really made them have to go backwards. Escalante just overcooking that, but in the end the referee spotting that the Argentinian midfielder was caught, so it will be a free kick to Eibar around 30 yards from Ter Stegen's goal.
It's a really good point you make though, Lucas. Barca's pressing is so important, such a big part of their game, and I think it was specifically under Pep Guardiola, and it is again now. Ernesto Valverde has really got them pumped up to press this season, and their work rate is incredible. I think it's better than it's been for a good number of seasons now, and you see every time they give possession away or the opposition win it back, Barca are on top of them immediately, and it is impressive, very, very impressive.
It is, and Eibar are struggling. You just saw Paulinho's heat map there, if you want to. Quite sure what the blue swirls meant, but he's spent a lot of time in the middle left, over the ball. Anaitz Arbia, it clips the wall, and Ter Stegen just checks his bearings. No time for the corner to be taken, though. 45.5 minutes played here in Camp Nou, and Mr. Hernandez brings proceedings to a close. Barca leading by 2-0. Not necessarily a comfortable half, but they've taken their chances. The penalty from Lionel Messi opening the scoring in the 20th minute, and Paulinho adding a second shortly before half-time.
Well, it's not been an easy first half of football for Barca, but at the same time,
See you on the other side. Stay alive. Stay alive. I got to keep it together. Keep it together. Keep it together. Keep it together. See you on the other side. Stay alive. Stay alive. I got to keep it together. Keep it together. I got to keep it together. Keep it together. Keep it together. Keep it together. Like a broken soul in a wonderland without angels. That is how I feel when the mirror shows me a stranger. Yeah. And I know they're just fragments of a world where your absence all I get to see. Take me back to the planet where you and I are still meant to be. 'Cause I'm incomplete when you ain't by my side, when you don't wake up next to me. Yeah, I'm incomplete. I need you here tonight to cover up these empty sheets. 'Cause I'm incomplete. Yeah, I'm incomplete. Hey, 'cause I'm incomplete. I need you here tonight to cover up these empty sheets. 'Cause I'm incomplete. but it won't be long before I realize it's a picture in my head, in my head. And I know they're just fragments of a world where your absence all I get to see. Take me back to the planet where you and I are still meant to be. Cause I'm incomplete when you ain't by my side, when you don't wake up next to me. Yeah, I'm incomplete. I need you here tonight to cover up these empty sheets. Cause I'm incomplete. I'm incomplete. I need you here tonight to cover up these empty sheets. 'Cause I'm incomplete.
I fell and lost to the war, shot me dead. I was lost and I said to the voices in my head, I'm gonna get up again. I'm gonna get up to another day. I'm not giving up again. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up. Giving up again. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna get up Look into my eyes. My heart beats like a drum. You listen to my lies. Love is far to come. Your love is far. Running at the speed of light, kissing under city lights. Calls me in this morning time, but it just goes on. Running at the speed of light, kissing under city lights. Calls me in this morning time, but it just goes on. Gonna get up to another day. I'm not giving up again.
Deulofeu and Marlon. And Semedo there costing 30 million, or just over. Paulinho 40 and 105. And of course they say they have 220 burning a hole in their pocket from Neymar, but of course they will have had to pay tax on that. So not quite, or not anywhere near the full amount they would have had to dip into their own pockets. I'll just run you through the team very quickly as the teams, as the referee prepares for kickoff. Marc-Andre ter Stegen in goal for Barca, Nelson Semedo, Javier Mascherano, Gerard Piqué and Lucas Digne. At the back across the midfield, Paulinho, Sergio Busquets, Andres Iniesta, and the front three of Denis Suarez, Lionel Messi and Gerard Deulofeu. And for Eibar, Marco Dimitrovic, David Junca, Alex Galvez, Paulo Oliveira and Anait Sarbilla. Dani Garcia, Gonzalo Escalante, Joan Jordan in the midfield, and Takashi Inui, Sergi Emrich and Ander Kappa, the front three for the visitors. So Eibar perhaps looking to reduce the arrears. If they were to score the next goal, it really would set us up for a thrilling encounter. Not saying it's not going to be thrilling if they don't, of course. Barca turning on the style and always capable of something special in front of their own fans. The attendance for this 10 p.m. local time kickoff on Tuesday night, 51,000, which by many respects it's actually greater than the population of Eibar, of course, but by Barca standards is a fairly low crowd.
Yeah, it's about half full. 99,000 capacity, the Camp Nou, so just over half full. But don't forget as well, it's 10 p.m. local time in Barcelona on a Tuesday night, so not the ideal time to be going to the Camp Nou, especially with young kids. Not great kick-off time, really.
No, and of course outside you see all the supporters clubs, the Peñas buses being shipped in from all over Catalonia, and they're not back on the coach till midnight or past that. And I've got an hour or 2 hour drive home. Maybe not as many people deciding to come all the way down to watch this one live.
The good thing about this second half, Lucas, is that there's a lot of players on the pitch for Football Club Barcelona that really want to impress the fans and want to impress their manager Ernesto Valverde. You've got obviously Mascherano, who we all know so well, but he's not really got much of a sniff of football this season. Started against Betis in the opening game, hasn't played a minute since then until tonight. Nelson Semedo, he's new, he wants to impress. Lucas Digne, we haven't seen an awful lot of him. The man on the ball who's just lost it, actually, Deulofeu, who'll be stepping into Dembele's shoes for the next 3 to 4 months. He'll be keen to impress, as will Paulinho and Denis Suarez as well. So it's not as though Barca are going to come out for this second half and just sort of guard their 2-0 lead. There's a lot of players who are going to want to play football out there and maybe get their name on the score sheet as well.
And indeed, looking at the bench, there's 6 outfield players of Barca. I'd say 3 of them also still have points to prove. Maybe less so Sergio Roberto, but certainly Alex Vidal and Thomas Vermaelen if given a chance. Or the likes of Ivan Rakitic, Jordi Alba and Luis Suarez, all having proven what they are capable of a long time ago. Barca just building through the middle. Lionel Messi dropping into a defensive midfield role there to play it out wide to Semedo. Now the Argentinian sprinting forward. Paulinho taking up a central striking role as it's played out to Deulofeu. Paulinho even pointing, saying he wanted it inside the 6-yard area to attack. I think he's enjoying himself in his new colours, the Brazilian.
Yeah, he definitely is. Against Getafe, it was interesting as well to see Leo Messi ushering Paulinho forward. That came just before the goal. It was Messi who provided the assist.
And there's a ball through, and Deulofeu just seemed to get that caught under his feet. Dimitrovic really took a risk there coming out. It paid off because he made the all-important tackle, but my word, Deulofeu, if he just got the touch to take around the keeper there, I think Dimitrovic would have been in for some criticism, but as he made the tackle, he may come in for some praise. We'll have to see.
Well, yeah, I think it certainly surprised Deulofeu. He wasn't expecting to see the goalkeeper that far off his line, I don't think, and that's maybe why he dawdled just a little bit too long on the ball.
Iniesta switching it all the way across to Semedo.
Interesting to see Leo Messi starting this second half over on the right-hand side. It's De La Feu who's playing through the middle in that sort of false nine role, with Denis Suarez on this left-hand side. So Barca mixing things up at the start of this second half.
And there's the ball up and over the top that De La Feu there. Just the touch, taking it away, and he suddenly looked around as if to say, I wasn't expecting to see you out here. Dimitric, luckily for him, made clean contact with the ball. Barca back in possession. Gerard Piqué's last attempted pass out to the far side, beyond the reach of Semedo. Now Iniesta closed down and having to really struggle, and actually losing out. Never reliable Sergio Busquets just winning it back into Paulinho, chests it down nonchalantly, lays it into the feet of Messi, and then he too is edged off the ball in the centre of midfield. So Eibar doing some things very well, and other things not so well, winning the ball back, but just unable to steer a path into the final third, or the final third going forwards, that is, of course.
Well, we said in the first half, Lucas, that Eibar so far in La Liga are the side that have robbed the ball in the opposition half more than anyone else, and certainly they've been good at that in this game. The pressure's been high. We've seen so far in this second half they've nicked the ball off Barca on a couple of occasions, but the problem for them is that possession just doesn't last. 3 or 4 passes, and well, the pressure from Barca means that the home side are back in control of the ball before too long.
De La Feu skipping around Juncaba. Semedo unable to do the same, and it's upfield, and again Mascherano beating the taller figure of Sergi Enrich in the air. It's all about positional play there from Mascherano. He didn't even have to jump, just watch the ball come out of the air. Now Denis Suarez in a deeper role, and of course on Saturday night the tantalising prospect of all new Catalan derby as Barca head up the east side of Catalonia, or the east coast of Catalonia, to play Girona in Montilivi for the first time ever in the Spanish top flight. Girona having met Barca's B team on a number of occasions, but this is the first time they will meet Messi and all on equal terms. So they play on Saturday night at 8:45 local time. Eibar have to wait a day later before their next encounter in weekdays, or match day 6 of La Liga Santander. They face Celta de Vigo on Sunday evening and our 6:30 kickoff. Here is Arbilla. Unai was there, but he left it too long to make the pass. Well read by De La Feu. Slightly delayed reactions from Arbilla. Unai was ready to go, or Inui rather, was ready to go long before that pass was played. Mascherano doing well to bring that out of the air. Oh, what a dummy there by Paulinho, and he's got Messi down the right-hand side, making his way into the centre. Paulinho wanting it back, Messi going for goal. Stunning stop by the keeper, Denis Suarez! 3-0. Dimitric powerless to stop the second shot from Denis Suarez. Great play from Paulinho in the build-up. Good shot from Messi, good save, but it is Barca 3, Eibar 0.
Well, Paulinho and Denis Suarez came on against Getafe at the weekend, both scored. They then earned a place in Ernesto Valverde's starting 11 for this game, and they're both on the score sheet once again. Not only that, as you've mentioned, Lucas, Paulinho vital in the build-up to this goal. A really, really clever dummy, letting the ball go through to Leo Messi. It's the Argentine shot that's parried into the path of Denis Suarez, and well, Suarez does the rest, picks up Barca's third goal and a second in 2 games for Denis Suarez. Very impressive stuff from both him and Paulinho, and it's been another excellent performance from Football Club Barcelona. 3 goals, and it's going to be another 3 points.
It certainly has got to feel a wee bit for Dimitrovic. He's twice denied Messi from opportunities like that, pushing the ball away, but nobody in a green and white shirt to stop Denis Suarez, and accuracy and power, beating the keeper at his near post. Helpless in the end, but a good stop to deny Messi. Seen him score so many of those goals throughout his career. Lionel Messi really just steps aside from the defender and glides it into the bottom corner, but in the first half Dimitric made a stop similar to that. On this occasion, Denis Suarez the quickest to react, and it is Barcelona 3, Eibar 0 inside the 55th minute of the game. I suppose Eibar's ambition now is perhaps to keep the scoreline fairly respectable in the remaining 35 minutes or so.
Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, and they're not a side that usually concede too many goals. As we've said many times, they're very tight at the back. They conceded 3 against Sevilla early on in the season. That was down in Andalusia, a really tough place to go. So too is the Camp Nou, of course, but yeah, you're right, they'll want to keep it as tight as possible. Although there's a long way to go in this game, and Barca have looked very good since the start of this second half. Don't forget, Eibar started this game really well. Very positive opening 10-15 minutes. They had that glorious opportunity through Sergi Enrich, who found himself one-on-one with Marc-Andre ter Stegen, and he probably should have done better, and it could have been a very different first half for Football Club Barcelona. As it was, as the game went on, Barca were more and more dominant, and they managed to first convert that penalty and then get the second from the corner, a good header from Paulinho. And now this second half, it's really been a very different story. Barca have been completely in command, and we've barely seen Eibar in possession of the ball.
Only once in their, well, now 7 meetings, I suppose, including this one, have Eibar not conceded 3 or more goals against Barca. And that was a 2-0 victory to the Blaugrana back in 2015. It could get worse here. Deulofeu, Messi the quickest to react, but a great piece of defending in the end from Paulo Oliveira. Just got the block in, and another dangerous attack for Eibar to repel. And now perhaps the visitors can push forward. I'm sure even a decent attack testing ter Stegen would just lift them again, draw them back into the game. Ander Kappa, who so often when employed as a right back allowed to push up past a wide midfielder, normally in the shape of Pedro Leon, looks a lot more comfortable than he does today. And there's a good ball into the centre, and Eibar do have a goal back, and it is Sergi Enrich. A really great pass into the area, just inviting the touch, and the 27-year-old former Numancia man provides it, and Eibar have responded.
Brilliant goal, completely against the run of play. But what about this for a ball in? It was good play in the build-up from Inui, and then it's David Juncker, the full-back, who puts in an absolutely stunning ball. It's just asking to be tucked away, but it's a very clever finish. There's a lot still to do to angle the ball into that far corner and beyond Marc-Andre ter Stegen, and Sergi Enrich guides it beautifully into the far corner.
He certainly does. Sergi Enrich, who was on the point, well, quite how close to the point he was, but certainly Eibar entertained a bid from English Championship side Fulham in the summer. I think it was Enrich himself who turned down the move. And Eibar will be very grateful that he did. That really was a very good finish. What a glorious ball, as you said, Duncan, from the left-hand side from David Juncker. Oh, Barca are going to respond themselves now. Denis Suarez pulls it back, and again the defending just able to clear it. Deulofeu, and it's Sergi Enrich, the goal scorer, getting back there. I think he just got the toe in to stop Deulofeu's advances. Mascherano up from the centre of defence, out wide to Suarez, and Arbilla quickly across to try and stop the scorer of Barca's third goal. Just wondering what that will do for Eibar's confidence. There is Rakitic with the freshly dyed blonde hair alongside Sergio Roberto. Blonde anyway, Rakitic, but certainly added an extra tint to his hair when I saw him arriving before the game. Messi back to Iniesta, to Sergio Busquets, and it's slid in. It's Lionel Messi almost out of nothing, and having pulled the goal back, Eibar find themselves 3 behind once again, just 2 minutes after Sergi Enrich's goal, and that is textbook Messi.
Well, if Ernesto Valverde was a little bit worried enough to ask Rakitic and Sergio Roberto to start warming up when Eibar scored that goal, Leo Messi certainly wasn't. He knew that if he had a chance to score another one, he'd give Barcelona that 3-goal cushion once again. It's just so clever. How many players in world football are capable of seeing that gap, of seeing the chance to play the ball between those two defenders and into the corner of the net? There's barely any backlift from Leo Messi. He's falling over as he strikes it, and he finds the absolute corner of the net. It couldn't have been more precise. It's a perfect finish from Leo Messi. It's his second of the game, and Barca are leading by 4-1.
They certainly are. I like the fact that in the run there, Messi almost dummied, as if to think about pulling it back across to his right, and in the end thought, no, there's the space. And just as you say, it was almost like able to use a snooker cue or something just to get exactly the point he wanted on it. It was so accurate. Superb. But we are and must never become, I think, accustomed to the brilliance of Lionel Messi sometimes. Another glorious goal, and that's his second of the game.
The thing is with Leo Messi is that his vision is as good as his technique. To actually see that gap and to be aware of the possibility of sliding the ball in there is absolutely remarkable. Then to be able to actually do it is also absolutely remarkable. And there's just no one that's capable of that except Leo Messi.
No, you're right, it's the two things combined, isn't it? Some players might see the gap, but it's the execution of that. They normally pull out of it thinking, well, I've got no chance. But Messi has it all in one, the complete package. When you talk about football legends, I think Lionel Messi will be talked about along with the best, the very, very best.
Oh, no question.
The best, Duncan?
Certainly in our generation, I think, Lucas. You know, we never got to see Pelé play. Only ever seen Maradona on TV.
The other end, Eibar looking for a second. Ter Stegen stayed upright for that, just almost nonchalantly palming away Inouye's effort. And here is Messi, full of running, and this time he's got Paulinho running through the centre, allows the ball, just slides it back. Messi just holding off the challenges, and he has got a hat-trick. Could have gone down probably once, if not twice, for a penalty there. Looked like he was being held back, but he knew the match ball was there for the taking, and Barca now running away with it.
Well, this is what we suggested that Eibar would be worried about, certainly Jose Luis Mendilibar, but there's no one that can stop this man. How do you stop Leo Messi from doing that? You can't. It's impossible. From one end to the other, it's a good save from Ter Stegen. Barca get the ball clear. It's really good from Paulinho, and I tell you what, Leo Messi and Paulinho are combining ever so well. But what about this finish with the outside of the left boot? He was being pulled back by the defenders, and he just slides it beyond the goalkeeper. Dimitrovic, nothing he could do, it's through his legs. And the crowd responding first to Leo Messi and then to another hero, Andres Iniesta, who's replaced by Sergio Roberto. Roberto coming on to play in central midfield, which is his position and where he'd much rather play than right back.
I've got to say, the look on Dimitrovic's face as he realised that had gone through his legs into the net. Not the first goalkeeper to have that look on his face after Lionel Messi had beaten him. And the whole look of what exactly do we have to do here to stop this guy. Defenders are pulling him at him, as you say, and it could get worse for Eibar and Barca, really enjoying themselves now. That one blocked out by Junca. Iniesta's played his part, and he's happy to watch the remaining 27.5 minutes from the bench.
You just got a feeling that this was going to happen in this second half. Barca started so confidently, they were moving the ball around, creating more and more chances. There's been a real spark about them in this second half, which there wasn't in the first half. And you felt that Eibar could well be on the wrong end of a bit of a beating here from Football Club Barcelona. And that's exactly what has turned out to happen. Barca with 5 goals already, and there could be more.
Dimitrovic again, coming away out of his area. I was just going to say, in the build-up to the new season, the talk, of course, was how Real Madrid looked set to dominate. They Came into it as champions with so many records of unbeaten records and goal-scoring runs that they've been on.
And the Spanish Super Cup as well, where they absolutely thrashed Football Club Barcelona.
They certainly did. And that man there on the right, just tucking his shirt into his trousers, really deserves a lot of credit for the way Barca has started this season. Ernesto Valverde took over and didn't exactly set the world alight when it was announced that he'd be the coach, but he's come in unassuming, very polite, doesn't like all the headlines himself, and he's made this Barca team really entertaining, really strong, and I've got to say really attacking.
And the players look happy, and when Football Club Barcelona are playing with a smile on their face, they're an even more dangerous rival to play against. We're seeing, I think, the best of Iniesta this season. We're seeing the best of the man who's just left the field, Busquets, and we're seeing the best of the man who's just come on, Ivan Rakitic. Jordi Alba's a different player. Messi looks happy, and that's a lot of that is thanks to Ernesto Valverde. I think he's done a great job, as you say, Lucas.
It certainly seems to have done. Sergio Rich controlled in the area, didn't really have any options. He had two Barca players in front of him. Inmi was out wide left, but Rich just didn't have any way of finding him.
It's Ivan Rakitic who's going to play in the Sergio Busquets role, by the way. He could have pushed Paulinho back into that defensive midfield role, but Paulinho is more of a box-to-box midfielder, more of an attacking midfielder than a defensive midfielder, even though he is strong and physical. And it's going to be Busquets that plays in the middle with Paulinho on the right-hand side and Sergio Roberto on the left.
And we should just mention a change, of course. And the man who's come on in the foot race there with Ter Stegen, Ruben Peña. A smaller version, but very much in the same mould as Ander Kappa, can play predominantly going forward, but has also filled in at both full-back positions for Eibar last season and can play in the central striking role as well. So a very useful utility player, and he is now on for Ander Kappa on that right flank for the visitors. And he was just trying to get the crossover. Mascherano put the leg up though, and the corner to the Basque countryside. Los Armeros, as they are known, famous for weapons manufacturing and gun making in the town of Eibar, up in the Basque country, located between San Sebastian or Donostia and Bilbao. So now Piqué heads away the corner. Giant Jordan there running into traffic, and now Barca on the attack once again. There's a glorious ball from Messi. Dimitrovic again. He's timing his runs well, I've got to say. Credit to the goalkeeper. He's not actually had a bad game. He's conceded 5. But it could have been more.
Such quick thinking from Leo Messi to play that ball through. The crowd were hoping that Denis Suarez would see the run of Deulofeu, but Suarez played the ball inside. Messi, of course, had spotted the run and immediately played the pass. Just too much on it, Deulofeu, not quite quick enough to get on the end of it before the goalkeeper Dimitrovic came out and launched it to safety. And as you say, I think Dimitrovic hasn't really put a foot wrong, despite the fact he's picked the ball out of the back of his net on 5 occasions.
No, certainly. Just thinking back through the goals, there isn't really one where you could say he could have done better. The penalty, the header from Paulinho was not quite point blank, but powered in and well away from him. In the second period, he saved the shot from Messi initially, and Denis Suarez was able to just thump it past him, and those two Lionel Messi goals, well. Semedo on that far side, and look at Paulinho putting on the afterburners to get back up and try and help out yet again. Deulofeu down the side, puts it back in, and only the outstretched leg of Paulo Oliveira prevents Paulinho from adding his second, or at least attempting to score his second.
Great run from Semedo. He looks so confident in this Barca side, so comfortable. He's fitted in so well since he arrived. Similar to the way that Samuel Umtiti came in at centre-back and just looked like he'd been playing for Barca for years. Semedo's done exactly the same at right-back, and it's not easy. It's a cliche to say it, but it's true. Playing in defence for Football Club Barcelona is not easy. Those two players have come in and done a great job.
Messi with the corner, straight into the arms of the goalkeeper. And the high ball forward, and this time it's Ter Stegen coming out and doing his defensive work from outside his own penalty area and doing very well to nod it forward to the substitute Sergi Roberto. Denis Suarez.
Gerard Piqué stayed up in attack. You could see him waving to Denis Suarez and Deulofeu, showing that he was still up in attack and he wanted the ball played in. Always wants a goal, Gerard Piqué, always.
He's a frustrated striker. Messi on the right flank now. Deulofeu looking to pull it back, and again the Eibar defence just staying upright. Another player not exactly to feel sorry for, doesn't need pity of course, but Alex Galvez, who's made some crucial interceptions and some block tackles tonight. Just Eibar's defence as a unit unable to cope with Barca when they start marauding forward as they did just a few moments ago with Semedo's run. So many players in Blaugrana shirts running to the area. As you mentioned, Piqué up again. This time the ball not high enough. He wants it up at head height, doesn't he, almost, Piqué?
Yeah, he's not bad with his feet either though, is he, Gerard Piqué?
Well, here he is on the ball, 6'4.5", playing it in, and now Lucas Digne! And again Dimitrovic makes the save. Good sporting gesture there, caught the keeper but no histrionics.
Great chance, and just as we were talking about Gerard Piqué being a particularly talented centre-back with his feet, he slips through a beautiful little through ball for Lucas Digne, and the Frenchman not quite able to convert it. It was a really good chance, but as you say, excellent goalkeeping once again by the Serbian Dimitrovic, who came quickly off his line and made himself big.
I was going to say, Lucas Digne not used to finding himself in that position. Had a look up, almost, I wouldn't say took too long, but the forward's instinct might have been to take that early. Paulinho now back in his own half alongside Lionel Messi. You can see where the Barca players start from, building up. By the time the ball gets into the last third, they're all up there. Lionel Messi out wide, 4 Eibar defenders back in the areas. Lionel Messi looks to take them all on, but a good tackle in the end from, I think it is Galvez who made that challenge. Slightly bigger of the two men with the shaved heads on that far side. Here's the other one, David Junca. Brought down by Rich, played out wide to the right hand side. Ruben Peña forced back by the presence of Denis Suarez. 3 at the top of your picture there as Ruben Peña knocked it one way, thought he was going to go around Lucas Digne, but Lucas Digne almost went with him as the ball went that way, and they both had to come back across. In the end, Digne clears it away for a corner. Ruben Peña has only been on a few minutes. He's already breaking into a sweat. Sergio Rich off the field there. Corner to Eibar to be taken away down to our right, and it will be taken by Joan Jordan. All the Eibar players currently at the far post, flicked on by Galvez. In we try to race Semedo, and it is the Japan international who wins the ball, and the cross comes back in, and Galvez just has it taken off his head there by Mascherano. Just confirmation that Charles, although you can see him in your picture, was corrected after a previous commentary game, I think when he was at Malaga last season, by a Malaga fan saying it's pronounced Charlas, giving it the English pronunciation, but we'll see what he does this game. Alex Vidal about to come on, and he will replace Gerard Deulofeu. It's the third and final change for Football Club Barcelona. He's had a very good game, Deulofeu, and I've got to say, credit to Valverde, he's giving Alex Vidal, it does appear, if he comes on in the same position as Deulofeu, a chance to prove himself in his preferred position. played at right back, of course, but with Sevilla, he really impressed up on that right flank. And Néstor Valverde trying to get the best of it out of Alex Vidal.
And it's not the first time we've seen that this season either. A few times we have seen Alex Vidal, he's been played in his preferred, more attacking role. Same with Sergio Roberto as well. Generally played in midfield, which is where he prefers to play, where he feels more comfortable, rather than at right back, which is where he was played last season by Luis Enrique.
Here's the goal, or the shot rather, from Lionel Messi, saved by Dimitrovic. And Denis Suarez, get them right in a minute. Denis Suarez completely unmarked. Lionel Messi drawing all the Eibar defenders to him. What a pass that was from David Juncker. Took out Gerard Piqué, and a really great finish from Sergi Enrich. And this is the goal from Lionel Messi. The pinpoint accurate finish. The touch there, the swerve of the hips.
Oh. Gets better every time you see it.
It certainly does. Maybe more to come. Still 15 minutes remaining. Paulinho up against Galvez. Oh, I thought Paulinho was going to get away with it there. Just span away from him, and Galvez able to play it back to Dimitrovic. It seems fairly straightforward from a fan's point of view that playing players in their preferred positions will get the best out of them, but head coaches see things in training and like to switch things around and see if players are capable of performing the other positions. But when you come to a club such as Barca and you've got the wealth of options, players who prefer to play in certain positions probably have the luxury of doing so. Now the run on the far side. We haven't actually seen a free kick for quite a while, have we? Now I've just seen Lucas Digne goes over. The referee hasn't had a particularly difficult game to arbitrate.
I think last season, Lucas, there was a real problem for Barca at right back, and it wasn't the fault of either Alex Vidal or Sergio Roberto. It was the fault of the board. They didn't sign a right back after they lost Dani Alves, and Alex Vidal was signed as an attacking right-sided player, but as a bit of a utility man as well. If need be, we can play him at right back as well. It didn't work out. He wasn't confident there, and in the end Luis Enrique's hand was forced, and Sergio Roberto ended up filling in at right back, but it was never a solution. It was a short-term solution, and now they've got Semedo, and for the first time since Dani Alves, they've actually got a right back.
No, you're absolutely right. They let right backs go the summer before. The one we've just had, including Douglas, who was allowed to leave to go on loan to Sporting de Gijón. And you say Dani Alves also leaving the club. So some problems for the board. And of course Adriano, he was the other one I was just trying to think of. 3 right backs allowed to leave that summer. Blue, David Juncker just body checked him. Just about to say, only 1 yellow card handed out this evening, just as Mr. Hernandez brings out a second one. And it is for Alejandro, to give him his full name, Alex Galvez.
Well, it's been a frustrating evening, hasn't it? Well, especially second half. Eibar, he just kicks the ball away there and picks up a yellow card for doing so. You can just see that the players are getting more and more frustrated. They're not used to conceding goals, this Eibar side. They're a tightly knit group. They're very well disciplined, especially in defence. To concede 5 is a real kick in the teeth.
Certainly is. Lionel Messi, when he's going to go for goal or provide one of the 4 Barca players with the chance. No, he's going to go for goal, but
he turned his back on it immediately, didn't he, Leo Messi? Didn't even want to see it. He knew it was a pretty ugly free kick. We're not used to seeing that kind of thing from Leo Messi. Didn't watch it for a second.
No, he really got underneath it, didn't he? Almost like a pitching wedge, just lifted it up and over everybody into the proverbial row Z.
Interesting to see the heat map for Leo Messi. It's the red colour where he is the most is right through the middle of the pitch, and we've talked so much this season about that false 9 position, and that's a perfect way of summing it up and showing exactly where he's playing most of his football. and it is right through the middle where he's most dangerous, both picking up the ball and looking to provide assists, and of course taking defenders on and scoring goals himself. It's brilliant to see him back in that position. I think it's where he needs to play, and he showed once again with another hat-trick how dangerous he is.
Indeed, in his second league hat-trick of the new season, of course. Scored twice away against Alaves, the only 2 goals in a 2-0 win up in Mendizorroza. Of course, Alaves now parting company with their coach, Luis Zubeldia. 3 months and 4 league games in charge, and the Argentinian relieved of his duties up in the Basque country after the 3-0 reverse against Villarreal at the weekend.
Well, I think the big problem for Zubeldia wasn't necessarily the fact that his side hadn't picked up a point, because it was only 4 games into the season, but the problem was that they didn't look like they were going to pick up a point. They didn't look good at all. 4 games, no points, and no goals scored either. That was the real issue, and Alaves felt they needed to make a decision and change things quickly, which is what they did.
No, certainly in that game against Villarreal, I mean, it might be harsh, and it is with hindsight, but on occasion it felt like they weren't really playing for the coach. It has to be said, Villarreal first to everything. 492 passes completed to Alaves' 270, and 665 attempted. It really is some record, with a 74% pass accuracy. Now a shot from distance, but a grass cut up wide of Ter Stegen's goal there. Gonzalo Escalante. He'll have known, as you mentioned at the start of the game, Duncan, that Sampaoli was watching and may have just been able to give him a nudge, or at least make him come back and have a second look. I've got to say, as this game has progressed, he hasn't been that influential, Gonzalo Escalante, but he is a real key member of this Eibar side, and I'm sure Mendilibar will have advised Sampaoli on all his virtues and strengths. As you said, one of the other Argentinians on the pitch tonight has once again stolen all the headlines. Here's Inui. I said earlier I was thinking of acronyms for the front 3 that started this game for Barca, and saw on Sport, one of the 4 national daily football sports papers in Spain, a headline after he scored the 3 against Española, instead of MSN, just MMM, with a picture of Messi below it, which I thought was quite fitting for the time and could well be repeated for tomorrow's papers as well, after another stunning performance from the 30-year-old. Inui in the left-hand side, drills into the middle, only finds the feet of Mascherano, who just clears it away to that far side. And still over 5 minutes remaining of this encounter. The score 5-1, and Eibar attacking, Barca just sitting back. Almost feels like we're in the last minute or so, even time added on, but Barca still with plenty of time to add to their scoreline. The referee will probably add around 3 additional minutes. So Eibar need to stay concentrated. And Néstor Valverde, who has rarely moved from the position we're now seeing him in. One hand on his hip and a concerned frown on the brow. That's a poor pass out, it has to be said though, from Mascherano. PK just rectifying the situation, still not out as Ruben Peña into the area, makes some space for himself, aims to the far corner off the inside of the far post and scrambled away, but a chance for Eibar to do themselves some good there. Really quick feet from Ruben Peña, beat Ter Stegen, couldn't beat the woodwork.
Well, it's a pity for Peña. He's looked lively since he's come on in this second half, and that was a great chance, made all by himself. Took on basically the whole of Barca's defence. They were all sliding in to try and block that shot. It was a really, really good effort, and he was hugely unlucky to see it bouncing back off the post.
Well, six corners each, 6th corner of the game for Eibar. Whether they can make use of the set piece. They can't on this occasion, although they do retain possession. Out wide again to the corner taker, Joan Jordan. Tries to get the first time crossover. Lucas Digne does well to block it, and now Sergio Roberto into Denis Suarez, Rakitic, and they're passing their way out here. Mascherano spreads it all the way across, and Lionel Messi just standing out there on his own on the right wing, and the ball inside looking for the run of Alex Vidal. Flick back for Messi, he just wasn't able to pick it back up. Rakitic does well not only to get the tackle in, but also not to let that touch his arms as he was on the ground. Paulinho looking to make the run. Messi goes round one, round the other, out wide to Vidal. It is 4 for Messi. 6 for Football Club Barcelona, and what a wonderfully crafted goal. Another wonderfully crafted goal, and this time Alex Vidal. We talked about players on the bench who had a point to prove. He could have gone for goal himself there, Alex Vidal, but what a wonderful return. And Messi with the simplest, well, I say simple from up here, but he made it look simple across the keeper into the far corner. 4 for Messi, 6 for Barcelona.
Well, he had to adjust his body, Leo Messi, and he does that very well, but you're absolutely right. Alex Vidal does brilliantly. He could so easily have sent this ball across the 6-yard box, but he cut it back for Leo Messi, and as you see, Messi just opens his body and side foots it into the far corner. It's quick thinking from Leo Messi, and a brilliant finish, but very, very good from Alex Vidal. But take it back a few seconds previous, and it was Ivan Rakitic sliding on the floor who cut that ball out. Sergio Busquets style to win it back for Football Club Barcelona and start that whole move. So good all round from Football Club Barcelona, but another brilliant finish from Messi and a 4th goal for the evening. 6-1 they lead now.
I would also take back the phrase that was a simple finish, having seen it from various angles. Nothing simple about it.
Well, simple in Messi terms. He was inside the 6-yard box. He wasn't going to miss from there, I suppose, but no, you're right. It was clever in the way he adjusted his body and side-footed it into the far corner. Took real skill. But I think you're right to a certain extent, Lucas. It's not the most difficult goal Messi's ever scored.
And also reflecting on comments just a Barca scoring 6 at home, just for Eibar's confidence. They won't want to concede a 7th. They do keep pushing forward though, no thoughts of parking the proverbial bus. Just riding out the final few minutes. They're still pushing up, still men in the opposition half. Still giving Barca the opportunity to break, perhaps, with so many players forward. It must be a tiring experience for everyone in a green and white shirt to push up, attacking, and then suddenly have to turn about face and race back towards the edge of your own penalty area as the likes of Semedo, Messi, Paulinho and all come charging forward.
It's a free kick for Eibar, fouled by Gerard Piqué on the Argentine Escalante.
Another good ball in and off the crossbar. Second time Eibar have hit the woodwork in the space of the last 3 or 4 minutes. A really good header. It was another good cross from David Junca. A really accurate ball in. Ter Stegen, whether he thought that was off target, but effectively it was off target. I do count the woodwork as being off target, but he'd have had to really know his angles to know that was going to hit the bar. The arm went up.
What a delivery from Junca. His deliveries tonight have been spectacular. It was his ball in for the goal, and it was a perfectly measured cross. It was slid home by Sergi Enrique. If you think about the opportunity that Enrique had in the first half, just as we see this replay once again as the ball comes crashing off the crossbar, you had that one-on-one that Enrique had in the first half, plus the posts and the crossbar. They could have had 3 extra goals.
Well, another one here as in he lines it up and it's off the head of Mascherano. Mascherano just turns away. I was going to say, I was wondering if that would have any effect. He's just got his hands on his thighs now. That thumped into him. Probably hit the right part of his head, if you see what I mean. Got it on the hairline and up and away, but You'll see him turn away there. Probably a couple of paracetamol when he gets back into the change room after deflecting that away, but a brave header nonetheless. And just reflecting on David Juncão's delivered a couple of really good crosses. He's flourishing on the left-back position after Antonio Luna's summer departure. Allowed to leave on a free. Sergio Mlich's best mate. Thrown to Eibar on that far side. Paulinho out to close down. Eibar, as I mentioned, on the attacking foot again. He goes over. No free kick there. Semedo put the foot in. And now Eibar will have to be careful. They've just, I mentioned, going forward, suddenly have to turn and come back. Denis Suarez sent out towards the corner flag, retrieves it, has a look round. And the referee blows up. I must admit, I'm so busy watching Barca move forward, lost track of the time, but a convincing win for the home side here. 4 goals for Lionel Messi. A wonder show from him. And a very, very convincing performance all round. Messi will take all the headlines for the quartet of goals that he did score, but I've got to say, I was impressed by Barca as a unit and so many individuals.
Yeah, I think you'd pick out Paulinho, another really good performance from him. He's linking up so well with Leo Messi. That's a real positive for Valverde. The fact that he scored a goal as well, you could say the same for Dennis, although he faded a bit in the second half. Deulofeu looked good at times too. Alex Vidal.
See you on the other side. Stay alive. Stay alive. I got to keep it together. Keep it together. Keep it together. Go.